All right, whatever. Apparently, you don't like being brown.
All right, so
All right. Anyways,
Dr. Brown, we need to dive into that Vince McMahon story. Have you seen that?
no, I haven't. What do you do this time?
guys apparently not happy being brown. Go figure.
Well, look it up real quick, please.
Well, I'm happy
Okay.
being Sanchez. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Well, ask it in a more different question, other than being brown.
How the? Are you not brown? Yes or
Yeah,
no?
that is my last name, pal.
Okay, so are you happy being brown? Yes or no?
It's all right. It's all right.
It's a yes or no. What do you mean it's all right?
It's all right. That's all I'm gonna say. Why asking me a question like that?
That's kind of a
Jesus
yes.
Christ, bro.
There you go.
Go eat a bullet.
You
Oh.
first.
Jesus Christ, bro. I can't even ask him a fucking question.
What did Crazy McMahon do now?
That's
Crazy
what I'm looking up.
McMahon, apparently there's some allegations. Apparently some messages are out there that he has been sex trafficking all this time.
Oh,
Yeah, look at it.
really?
Allegedly.
it's for real.
Yes.
All right, there.
Allegedly.
I got it right now. Former employee of
Wait. I'm
WWE.
sorry. Earl, if you could please provide the website just so we could know the source.
It's
And if you
V
could say
Entertainment.
allegedly as well.
I'm just reading the article as it is. A former employee of WWE sued founder Vince McMahon, allegedly being accused, allegedly that he abused and sexually exploited her when he was the CEO of the wrestling entertainment company, and that McMahon allegedly trafficked her to other men on a pawn to secure talent deals with prospective wrestlers for the company it was recruiting. The former WWE employee, whose name is Jamie Grant, filed a lawsuit in U.S. District Court for the District of Connecticut Thursday, naming McMahon, WWE, and former head of talent relations John Laurinaitis as defendants. All right.
Could you please provide the website again? Sorry.
It's called Why Entertainment.
Fucking
Why
YR, write that? The fuck?
No, it's Why Explanation Point Entertainment. That's the name of the page I got.
Oh, Yahoo. That's Yahoo.
Okay, there. The lawsuit alleges that Vince McMahon, Laurinaitis, and the WWE violated the Trafficking Victims Prevention Act and includes claims of let me read this here. Glasses. Battery and intentional infliction of emotional distress in relation to years-long sexual and emotional abuse. Grant said she endured as an employee of the WWE. The lawsuit seeks unspecific damages, as well as a declaration judgment that a non-disclosure agreement Grant signed while she was employed by the WWE is void and void and does not be any of the plaintiff's claims against the defendants. A copy of the lawsuit is available on this link. So Mr. McMahon is becoming a worse player than Bill Clinton, apparently.
No, negative. Bill Clinton went to Epstein's Island. You can't get any worse than that. So if you could please correct that statement right now. Brown, thank you. Fucking liberal fuck.
Excuse me?
Guys
Brian, you
fucking
voted for
protecting Bill Clinton over here.
Dr. Biden.
Oh, he's worse than Bill Clinton. Get the fuck out of here, Dr. Biden.
Dr. Brown, come on, man.
Guys over here fucking, oh, he's worse than Bill Clinton. Yo, you are
Well,
such a
anybody,
liberal
here's,
fuck. Go
excuse
fuck
me?
yourself, Brown. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, you little liberal tard. Go fuck yourself.
Dr. Brown, you were.
All right, let me make this loud and clear. SC is no longer allowed on this call. If he's going to start doing that to me, he's done.
All right. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
All right.
And throughout this show, keep your mind and focus on the topic that we're talking about.
You got it, sir.
SC, do you think the Vince McMahon thing is real, or you think it's another? Because Ryback was saying that a couple months ago. He's like, "Wait,
Who
like
the fuck gives a fuck about Ryback, dude? Look, this is the big point. This is the big broad point. Right now, WWE TKO, they're doing amazing. And guess what? A female comes along saying, I got my vagina touched. Guess what? What does she want? The moolah, the money. Why is she bitching about this shit now? Why is she bitching about it after, oh my God, WWE to Netflix? Oh my God, let me tell everybody my vagina got touched. Fuck out of here.
But usually they have to wait because of the fear that if they speak up while McMahon was still in power, McMahon could possibly do some retaliation against her.
Bro.
Dr. Brown, happened many times before.
Well,
Dr. Brown, someone in the chat wrote you something.
Accused.
If you could read that in the chat, please, RY.
Can you read that, please?
Negative. I'm driving right now. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
All right. So what did they say, YR?
I don't know.
No, read it. You brought it up. Read it.
Doesn't matter. Go ahead, guys.
All right. Well, when you think about it, anybody in the power, whether it's a high top executive, whether it's Trump, McMahon, or somebody else, anytime somebody who got touched or messed with by either one of these businessmen, they're kind of afraid to speak out because, as I mentioned, the retaliation that could come about from this. Who knows? This businessman can possibly have connections with the mafia or this business executive or this business executive, and they can plot something against this individual making the accusation. Who knows? There has been many times where this has occurred. And usually the best way to finally speak about it is when that person is either no longer in that position of power or when they're locked up for another situation. So that's how they go about it. You got to remember, some of these victims or alleged victims, they kind of live in fear.
Oh my God, I really didn't know you were so liberal. I'm sorry.
I'm not liberal.
Really didn't.
I'm not liberal.
All right.
Okay, you know that.
I don't know. Apparently, you and Y are like completely like changing. I don't know. What the fuck's in the waters over there in fucking Florida, Texas?
Hey, I'm in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh no. Anyways, I know what's going on over there, but probably all them bonbons.
Okay, so tonight's topic, as of course, as you know, is great wrestling managers throughout the years. People who have managed pro wrestlers. And there's many of them. There's many of them that we need to acknowledge and talk about.
Some of them are former wrestlers. Some of them never were.
Exactly, yeah.
Some of them were sex trafficking, allegedly.
Okay, there. We could start with Billy Sando, who was.
Who the fuck is that?
Well, we're reading the list for the Wikipedia. We have Frank Smith.
Wikipedia.
You know what it is.
Okay.
And during the territory area, we had a lot of individuals like Adnan L. Casey, who passed away last year. He was the longtime opponent of Sergeant Slaughter.
Skandar Akbar.
Yep.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Remember that name.
I'm sorry. Hold on, I'm sorry. Earl.
Yeah.
RY didn't want to ask the question. I will ask the question for him.
All right.
He's being such a little prick. I'll be a man, and I'll ask you the question that
All
was
right.
asked for you. Earl, stop going to nightclubs and taking creepy pictures with young girls who
Who?
could be the
Who?
eight. Hold on,
Well,
hold
you
on. Can I
hold on,
finish
hold
it?
on, hold on. You tell the person who
Hello.
said that.
Can I
Tell
finish
the.
it though? Like, what do you like? At the end, they might be saying JK. You know what I mean? Let me just finish it, and then
I
you
know
can
who
rebuttal.
that is. That's a guy that he calls himself the Joker, and you could tell the Joker to fuck off.
All right, let me finish the question. Earl, stop going to nightclubs and taking creepy pictures with young girls who could be the age of your daughter. They're
Nope.
mostly terrified of you.
No,
Stop
they're
sucking
not.
their blood and
Liar.
living for them to be on
Liar.
their period.
Liar.
None of
Who
them are
said
there.
that? Who said
The
that?
Joker. The Joker.
Tell the Joker to go fuck himself.
Yeah, you
Family
heard it
show.
yourself. Thank you.
I'm sick and tired of this motherfucker coming into my chat, coming into YR's chat, to saying the exact same thing. He's just jealous because he doesn't mingle with any girls. He's probably ugly as
Really?
fuck. Exactly.
That looks like the Joker, maybe?
I don't know what he looks like, but as far as I'm
It's a
concerned, he
ban-
should not be on YouTube whatsoever. He's
Someone-
going to do harassing comments like that. Bottom line.
Bottom line.
He said stop cosplaying
I will do
Darth
what I
Vader.
wish, and if he can't,
Ban him. FC ban him.
I banned him right
Exactly.
now. That's it. He's done. He's gone.
Because he blocked
He's
me,
gone.
so
Good.
he ban him. So
He's banned. He's banned. He's gone. He's banned.
must be for that fucking faggot alien Scott McKinnon faggot. Alien faggot. Nah, come
He's
on.
banned. He's banned. He's banned. He's gone.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Get rid of him. If he's going to repeat that same narrative, then obviously he has an issue. He's a troll bag. Enough said.
Well, I mean, to be honest, just because someone disagrees with your views, it doesn't make them a troll. Let's be honest. Come on. See,
Yeah,
you're
but when
being,
you're
you're
maybe
being liberal.
no, I'm
You're
not being liberal. Call me that again, and you're gone for good.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, never mind. Christ.
Okay. I don't fuck around.
That a
I
threat?
know you like to fuck around, but I don't.
Jesus Christ. All right, never mind, dude.
Okay.
Jeez. You want to put a little bullet in me too? Fuck.
Okay, Ark's getting pissed off. He wants to get to the topic, and I don't blame him.
All right.
Okay, in the territory days, we had Baby Doll, who was actually Nikki Roberts, who of course is the wife of wrestler Sam Houston. Arnold Skaaland, who managed Bob Backlund in the WWF. We also had Bill Dundee, superstar Bill Dundee.
We used
Who
to
was
be a
off?
wrestler.
That's absolutely there. Now, was Captain Lou Albano a wrestler himself back in the day
Yes.
before? I see there. And so was Bobby the Brain Heenan. I remember
Yeah.
him. One time he wrestled one match when back when during the golden era of the WWF.
Gary Hart should be on that list.
Jerry Hart, yes, I remember him. Yes, he managed some of the individuals. I think he took on. I guess he managed Ronnie Garvin when Garvin turned against Dusty Rhodes in the NWA back in the later 80s.
Hart was big in WCW.
I see. All right.
I mean WCCW. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay there. Okay, we also have this lady, Brenda Britton. And I
Casey
guess
is raw. Not right now, dude. You're not welcome to the chat. You're not welcome to the call. Casey's raw. You
Why?
can't come into the call.
Why?
why not?
Because Earl does not want anybody here. So.
No, that's a lie.
Casey is raw. Sorry, dude. Next week we're going live.
Come on in, Casey.
No.
Have a seat.
Casey's okay.
Yes,
All right.
Casey's all right.
Casey, you could join, brother. Never mind. Casey, you can join.
Yeah, and while you're mentioning managers, it might not hurt to mention valets because they kind of acted as managers.
Absolutely, absolutely. Most of them were women.
Yep.
Exactly. Like
Well,
Baby
yeah.
Doll. Baby Doll was a perfect example of that during the 80s NWA era.
And you had Sunny and Sunshine.
Yep. And Sunshine was a valet of, I guess, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, if I'm correct.
Right. And then when his wife Precious came along, they got into a feud over who was going to be the valet
I see there. I remember hearing
in
about that.
WCCW.
Yes, I remember hearing about that situation in one of the wrestling magazines back in the day.
And Chris Adams' wife valeted Steve Williams when he was Steve Williams.
Yep,
And
exactly.
before he was Steve Austin and
Yep.
on.
And I know that during this time with WCW, Austin had this valet with him. I guess her name was Jeannie, if I'm correct. Jenny or Jeannie, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
I think so. I think
Yes.
so.
And by that time, he was still known as Stunning Steve Austin when he still had his hair.
And there was also Missy Hyatt, who
Oh, yeah. One of the big
was well
ones there.
traveled. Well,
Absolutely.
yeah, she was definitely a big one. Let's
I think she
stick
got
right about
involved.
that.
I think she romantically got involved with one of the TV stars of the Wonder Years, if I'm correct.
No, she was romantically involved with lots of people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, she
Lucy
was.
Goosey. She was Lucy.
She came
that
up
was
with
Sunny.
she came up with Hollywood Jack Tatum when he was in WCCW.
I see. We also got Buddy Rogers.
Yeah,
Who I
one of
guess
the
is
Freebirds who he wrestled.
That's
Or are you
absolutely
talking
there.
about the other Buddy Rogers?
Buddy. Well, that's Buddy Roberts from the Freebirds. Buddy Rogers, I guess he was considered the original Nature Boy because he had that blonde hair going. We had
And of course, there was Paul Ellering.
oh yeah, Precious Paul Ellering, who managed. He was a former pro wrestler himself. He later go on to manage the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. Of course, when he got to the WWF, they became the Legion of Doom because, for obviously, the WWF likes to change things around in terms of names and characters and identities.
What was
And
their
again,
names originally?
it was the Road Warriors.
Were
When
they
he
not
joined,
that when they joined WWE? No.
no, they were known as the Legion of Doom.
Oh shit! I never knew that. To be honest, I always thought that
Yeah.
they were the Road Warriors. Wow.
Yeah, the territory days they were. But you know and how the WWF
Casual
is.
fucking wrestling, Mark. I see. You don't know that much history about
What do you
wrestling.
want, dude? Fuck you, dude. I'm not old like fucking Earl, bro. Earl's like 82 years old. The fuck.
Remember Paulie Dangerously?
Yes, who would later become the head honcho of ECW and the advocate for Brock Lesnar, and now the wise man for the bloodline.
Paul Heyman.
Yep.
What was his name?
Paul E.
Dangerous.
Paul E.
Right.
Dangerously.
What the fuck?
When he was in the territories.
Absolutely. He was part of the old NWA that later became WCW. He had a thing called the Dangerous Alliance, including Ravishing Rick Rude and a couple others there.
Did he always have the ponytail?
Yeah, well, he had a mullet
think he
back
did.
then, that's for sure, yes. He also had one of the unique props, which was a cell phone of that making during that time. Not the cell phones that we have nowadays where you can easily fit in your pocket. The cell phone he had was one of those big
Was
ones.
a monster.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
reminds me of the Penguin from Batman.
I can see that.
Yep, absolutely.
And of course, we can't forget Percy Pringle, who later became Paul Bearer.
Yep, Percy Pringle, who sadly is no longer with us.
He started in WCCW.
Uh-huh.
Was it true when you used to like hear wrestling? It was back in the 1930s through a radio.
I don't know. I wasn't in the 1930s, but I
Okay.
would not be surprised if it was because everything was done on radio back then.
That would be hard to listen to a wrestling match. I mean, really, come on.
Exactly.
As
The
they
Riddler
say,
in the chat.
more
The
outbursts
Riddler.
from you, one more outburst from USC Steven, I will personally kill you with my eyes.
The Riddler in the chat. I'm sorry, brother. He said no. Sorry, the Riddler.
All right. We got
What happened to
Dark.
Casey?
Casey killed himself. He's not going to join.
Right?
Casey only joins Discords.
We also have Dale Edwards, the
He's too
Dark
good for us.
Angel, Dark Journey. That was the names. Dark Angel and Dark Journey.
Dick
Oh, we
Slater mainly.
Yep. And we also cannot forget the late Nancy Benoit, who back at WCW
no.
she was known as Woman. She was also known as Fallen
Woman?
Angel. Yep, that was her name, just Woman. That's it. She
And
managed.
before that, Fallen Angel, you're right.
That's it. Alongside her then husband, Kevin Sullivan.
Oh,
And
the
may
guy
I-
that really did kill her?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Did you guys not see the latest documentary?
Yeah, but Kevin Sullivan didn't do that. Kevin Sullivan
I
is
don't know.
no, he's a Catholic. He only portrayed that devil worshipping stuff as a character, only on screen.
And actually, he was a manager for a while.
Yeah, the Taskmaster. He had the what was it called?
He had the Steiner Dungeon Doom.
Dungeon of Doom. Yes, thank you. That's what it was.
I think Rick Steiner was in there for a while.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, we cannot forget the Faces of Fear that was managed by Jimmy Hart, the Mouth of the South, when he
By the
moved to
Hells Angels?
WCW.
And of course, Alexander York had a faction in the territory. Alexander York, of course, being Terry Reynolds.
Yep. And the Terry Reynolds will later become Marlena when she managed her husband, Dustin Rhodes, aka Goldust.
Tammy Snitch?
Oh, yeah, she was a manager. She managed her then boyfriend Chris Candido. They were known as the Body Donnas.
Chris Canyon.
I don't think
I don't think he managed
anybody. No, he was just a regular wrestler. That's about it. Oh, J.J. Dillon, who managed the Four Horsemen, the original.
But Steve Sanchez?
Steve's.
Jacob Proverb?
Never heard of him.
Me neither.
Freddie Blassie.
Oh, man. Classy Freddie Blassie. Who cannot forget his name they would call his opponents? Pencil Neck Geek. I had one of his records back in the 80s. It was a colored vinyl issued by Rhino Records.
I had one of Jimmy Hart's records when he was with the Gentrys.
Oh, yeah. We got to acknowledge Jimmy Hart because I know that he had some hand in writing the theme music for Hulk Hogan's WCW music. I think,
real quick, what are you guys' favorite finishers?
oh, there's so many of them.
You can only name one. If you could do it to an opponent, which one would it be?
Pile driver.
Arc?
I always had a fondness for the Iron Claw.
Oh.
The Iron Claw, really? Apparently, in the chat, the Riddler says Earl's favorite wrestling move is called "Play with My Dingleberry."
Oh, that's who is that wrestler that used to flip people with his penis?
Oh,
God, what was his name?
I don't know.
Proverb? Jacob Proverb. Jacob Proverb.
No, it was Jack or Jake something, but I don't recall that.
See, I was close.
Yeah. But that used to be his finishing move, he'd flip his opponent with his penis. And I'm like, what? That's got to be the stupidest move.
I know. Where's these fucking millennials?
Was it Joey Ryan?
I think it may have been a Joey Ryan.
Yes.
Maybe so.
Yes. You're right. What is that?
I don't know. Oh, it's Paul 3 strumming his
Dude, that guy
guitar.
looks like Paul Heyman over there with the fucking beard.
Well, let's
Let's
also real quick go through and say what was the stupidest finishing move besides the dick flip?
I'll have to say the Iron Claw.
No,
Yeah, it's just a claw in the mouth, essentially.
Rich, church? Church worship?
I know. I was going to say, what the hell?
Right, I
mine would
had to
be the
mute him.
leg drop of
I had
doom.
to mute him. I had to mute him.
Call that
Let's
Baptist
continue.
church worship, brother.
That was an incredibly stupid move.
The Iron Claw, I agree.
No,
No.
the leg of doom. Hulk
That,
Hogan's
and then-
finisher.
And the worm from Sky Too Hottie.
Yeah, those were stupid.
I mean,
I
look,
never really saw the purpose of the leg drop that Hogan did.
if you say that the Iron Claw is a stupid move, then you got to say the Mandible Claw is a stupid move.
Essentially, it's the same thing, you fucking moron. The fuck? Idiot. They're just called different things. I'm glad you
three-
think.
All three looks like Seth Rogen. Right.
All three looks like a fucking mongoloid Jake Roberts.
It looks like Drew Barrymore.
That looks like he got fucking scammed $50 for a haircut.
Who is your favorite manager, SC Dweeb?
Melina.
What?
She could hit the split, bro. She was a baddie, bro. I can't believe Batista tapped that. You guys remember Melina? Art,
Yes,
don't know
I
if you know
do,
who
yes.
Melina is.
Yep.
Yeah, she was
Oh.
active in the early
Oof.
2000s, along with
Ark.
Caitlyn.
Art, would you sleep with that? Would you tap that if you could?
Probably. Who wouldn't?
Exactly. Who wouldn't want to tap Liv Morgan?
Whoa.
Who wouldn't want to tap Alexa Bliss?
Is she ever going to come back?
I do not know. That's a good question.
She got married and she pretty much left. I think that's over for her. Like her plump butt is gone. I think that's it. Like I think she got married to that one dude from he's in a boy band, or he was in a boy band.
Ryan Cabrera.
Yeah. She got married with him, and obviously he has money, and that's it. She left. She's gone. I mean, I
But
don't
she may
blame
be
her
back.
either.
We don't know.
No, come on. You really think she's gonna risk her plump butt for wrestling? Come on.
Who knows?
She's beautiful, bro. I would punch her fucking bare butt with my tongue every night.
Wasn't Bray Wyatt considered a manager?
Well, he was kind of
Bray
like
Wyatt's
both.
considered dead.
The leader of the family or whatever it was?
Yeah, it's the Wyatt family. That's who he was considered the leader of.
At this point, he's pretty much considered, his last match was a Mountain Dew match. Come on. That sucks.
Bray
That
Wyatt?
sucks. Yeah, his last match was a Mountain Dew match. You don't remember? Look it up.
Well, I know that many. Well, I do know that many Wyatt fans out there are going to definitely disagree with you.
That sucks. I think he sucked. I think him and the black dude that was like, what's that black dude that went to AEW recently? He was tubby too. What was his name?
Keith Lee.
Yeah, dude, both of them, bro. Trash. Straight trash, bro. Look, I'm gonna keep it 100, bro. I'm not like one of these people like you. You're like, oh my god, he passed away. He's the GOAT. No, keeping it honest, bro. Let's be honest. I sucked. Come on. Respect to him, and obviously, I feel sorry for his family, his loved ones. May they find strength. I'm sure it wasn't easy, but I'm just talking about his career. I think it sucked. Come on.
Well, we'll let the fans have his way with SC afterwards.
Hmm.
Right. So
Well, the
we got.
fans in the chat are agreeing with me, so
I don't see him.
well, because they're all blocking you because you're a fucking liberal now. You're just
I'm
blocking
not
and
a
kicking
liberal.
people out. Yeah, you are.
SC,
Yeah, you
SC,
are.
be quiet. And stick to the topic.
SC, come on, man.
Stop it.
One more outburst and you're gone, man.
Gone for good.
Whoa, is that a threat? All right, let me just go ahead and mute myself for a minute.
And how about you mute a couple bullets? All right. Go ahead, Dr. Brother.
Okay. Well, we got to acknowledge, of course, Bobby the Brain Heenan. He was involved with the AWA, the WWF. Although he did a lot more announcing than he did managing in WCW alongside Tony Schiavone and later Eric Bischoff. But Bobby, he was probably one of the best heel managers out there because he had a comical instinct to him when you think about it. The things he did with Mean Gene Okerlund when they were cutting promos together was always funny. Like Heenan would be saying something, cutting, talking about this wrestler, that wrestler, then all of a sudden, boom, don't you call me that again. And Okerlund's like, call you what? You called me Weasel. Okerlund's like, I didn't call you Weasel. Ah, you just said it. That kind of thing going back and forth. He did that a few times at Oakland, and that was always fun to watch. But to me, one of the best periods was when he was teamed up with Gorilla Monsoon to host Primetime Wrestling. That was a treat and a half because my dad, myself would watch them go at it one on one. It was like the Abbott and Costello theory that they would do. Those two had great chemistry. And sadly, we miss them both for sure. Right there, Ark, I'll let you take the next turn.
Oh, and there was what the hell? Brother Love? No.
Well,
First manager of The Undertaker.
That was, yes, Brother Love, Bruce Pritchard.
Right.
He was the one who
I
first.
wonder why they changed that. I wonder why they changed him to Percy Pringle, like they switched people on that.
No, the WWF at that time was always like one of those companies where you got to portray a different sort of a character. I guess they've been known to do that for ages and ages. I mean, like, for example, when Medusa Maselli got into the WWF, they changed her name to Alundra Blaze.
When
Like
Dingo Warrior went there, he was known as the Ultimate Warrior.
Yes, and you also got to remember some of the names that they had in the other wrestling companies were copyrighted by the companies, so the WWF decided to make up new characters, new identities. Remember, according to Pritchard, it was a character-based company. You had to have a character and such.
Kerry Von Erich became the Texas Tornado.
Yep. Kurt Hennig became Mr. Perfect. Scott Hall became Razor Ramon. Kind of like a more heavy metal version of Scarface, Tony Montana.
Kevin Nash Diesel.
Yep, exactly. Well, that's not the first character he portrayed. He was also Oz in the WCW. I guess he was also Vinny Vegas, if I'm correct. Yep.
Yeah, with Diamond Dallas Page.
As the manager. He was a manager himself. That's when he moved into the wrestling ring himself. And of course, he'll go ahead. Say
I think Scott Hall was Diamond Stud.
Yes, he was Diamond Stud in WCW. Correct. I know he was his old self, his real name when he was involved with the AWA. He was the babyface at that time. In fact, he always complained about UFOs flying inside the ring, unidentified flying objects. This wrestler used that weapon, this weapon there. Of course, we also cannot forget, let's see, there was a few others I got to mention. Number one, Paul Jones. He managed the Warlord and the Barbarian in the old NWA. That's right. You also cannot forget, I guess whatever happened to Paul Jones, by the way? I know he was a former wrestler himself.
Oh no.
I know, good question there. Oh, we know this guy, Dirty Dutch Mantel. In the WWF, he was known as Zeba Kyle, and when he rejoined the company as Zeb Coulter, he managed, what was that guy's? Oh, yeah. What was that? Something. He used to be Jack Hagar or a Jack Spade or what the hell it was? They would come out and they say, "We the people," and the audience would chant along with them those words. Of course, so he later would leave and be known as Jack Hagar. I remember the little joke that Chris Jericho said when he had that inner circle thing going. He had Sammy Guevara. He would point out Sammy, and he'd point to Jack and he'd say Hagar. And you get the joke right there. There's a couple here that I've not heard of. Sir Dudley Clements.
I don't know him.
Neither do I. And here's a couple others. Don Carson, Don Duffy. It was in, I guess, the in the early '60s, I think. Oh, we remember this name, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Eddie Creechman. Oh, I remember hearing this name. I used to watch international wrestling from Canada on one of the UHF or VHF stations back then. And I remember he was known as Eddie the Brain Creechman, kind of like their version of Bobby the Brain. I guess his son Floyd will later become a manager himself or a pro wrestler. I'm not too sure which of the two.
Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert managed the Blade Runners.
Yep.
Do you remember the Blade Runners?
Yes, I remember hearing about them. Absolutely. Of course, so we know the real names of those guys and what they would become later on. Oh, the Fabulous Moolah, who held the WWF or WWF women's title for about more than 20 years. She would later manage Leilani Kai, who would take on Wendy Richter at one of the first WrestleManias. And Richter was managed by singer Cyndi Lauper. So Lauper deserves some credit here. All right, there. Frenchie Martin. I'm not too sure about. I think I remember hearing that name years ago.
There was a Japanese guy in the NWA. He was an evil manager, and I can't remember who it was or his name.
Was it Sonny Ono?
Jim Cornette.
Oh yeah, we got props to him. He managed, the Midnight Express, the Dynamic Dudes. I guess he also managed the Fantastics, but he would cut some badass promos. I remember he did one on J.J. Dillon, calling him 1988's poster boy for Alzheimer's disease. And him and the Midnight Express were baby faces at that time, taking on Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard.
And it was rare that anybody Jim Cornette managed was a babyface.
Exactly.
RY, could you do me a huge favor? RY.
I think he stepped away for the moment. Oh.
RY, you could do me a huge favor, bro, because they're asking in the chat. The viewers are always right. You know what they say? The customer is always right. RY, if you could please put a poll in the chat.
I can't do polls, bro. I can't do polls.
They're asking if you could please put up a poll. We want to see what the people think. They want to know, is Dr. Earl Brown a liberal? Yes or no?
Why are you so hung up on that?
Bro,
he's obsessed, Brown. He's obsessed with it, Brown.
Your views have been fucking sickening. You're like from Texas. I don't understand how you're like over here. Like,
I'm from Detroit.
oh, that explains everything. All right, never mind. No, well, everybody, now we know he's definitely liberal.
You're off the call for good.
Oh, that's well. What do you mean? Wait, hold on. Wait, what?
I'm done. I'm done with him.
Oh no. Okay,
I'm done with him. I'm done. I'm done with USC. I'm done. You don't know. I'm done.
He's not
Just
a
mute
liberal.
yourself and keep yourself muted.
See, you only are allowed to talk about what we're talking about on the show. If it's music show, music. If it's wrestling
It's
show,
a music
wrestling.
show, guys. We don't care about his politics. He is what he is. Whatever he is.
All you do is instigate, and that's it.
Anyways, I think Jimmy Buffett was a pretty good manager.
Oh, what?
He was.
All right, you can get him out of here, Brown.
You know, that's what I'm doing. He needs to be blocked from this conversation.
I'm sorry, I meant Jim. I don't know why I said Jimmy Buffett. Jim Cornette. I'm sorry, Jim Cornette was a good.
We just mentioned him.
I know.
South Jimmy Hart.
Oh, good point. Good point.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
voice,
we talked about him as well.
what was his name? The voice, the crowd. What was it? The voice.
Oh,
Mouth of the South.
The mouth.
tell you a story about him. This is WrestleMania 17 at the Astrodome, and you know how they have it now. You know, I know for WrestleMania, maybe for like Royal Rumble and the other ones, but when it comes to whatever city it's in, they have like at that convention center, they'll have autograph signings. So they had that for the WWF at the time, and they had Jimmy Mouth and South Hart. And when I met him, he said, "Hey, if you ever run into this guy from New Jersey named S.E. Steve, he always tries to instigate and call Dr. Black, Dr. Brown, and Dr. Brown, Dr. Black, all of that." So,
Tell them that. I said he's a liberal.
well, stop. Dr. Brown is not a liberal. He voted for
Nope.
Trump.
Yep.
And ask him who's he voting for now. He said Biden. So like.
Nope. Nope.
Oh, I'm dropping it. I don't care. I'm dropping it. I don't care. I'm dropping it. Just remember, Brown has the letter B in it. Biden has the letter B in it.
Thank you.
That's all I'm
That
saying.
that don't mean nothing.
That's all I'm saying.
S has the letter S in it, so that means you some type of pedophile, S.
RY, stop. RY,
Thank
stop.
you. Exactly. See how it feels?
Stop bringing it up. Stop bringing it up. Idiot.
You damn sex crazed maniac like Vince McMahon. Is what you are.
Yep.
All right, SC. But Dr. Brown, when you obviously now they don't really have managers. It's really only like Paul Heyman.
Exactly. The only one I know.
MVP and a couple lady managers with that one guy.
Yep. Or valets. In fact, it fits to say that Sarah Logan is now kind of like a valet.
You're right. Yeah.
Fighting Rakers.
Valhalla.
Yep. That's her name now. Valhalla.
Which is a Judas Priest song. Halls of Valhalla.
Well, Valhalla is part of Nordic mythology. I guess when you
wasn't she like a superhero or something?
And the former Rusev's wife is managing, I think, in AEW.
Ooh,
exactly.
Lana.
Yeah, I guess she's in the hospital. I guess she contracted this MRSA in one of her fingers. She showed it on X a while back, and man, it looks terrible. Her real name is CJ Perry, by the way.
Yes.
No doxing, guys. We don't. Oh, look who's in the chat, Mr. Too Good for Everyone, Luke Rojas, Mr. Candy. What is he writing, chat? I can't speak Spanish. What is it?
All right, so real quick, he said in Spanish, "Yo no sé si estas cosas de Vince es verdad o no, Pero la muchacha se vendió su cuerpo por dinero, regalos y por una posición en la corporación. Ella no es una víctima. Thank you.
Please translate for us dumbasses.
No, you guys aren't dumb. He said, I don't know if this stuff with Vince is true or not, but the girl sold her body for money, gifts, and a corporate position. She's not a victim. And this all leads to her waiting.
What the fuck do you think you do with Cronin every fucking week? You fucking Joe Cronin, WWE prostitute?
Dude.
Jacob prostitute, right?
Just like some people sell themselves to the liberals.
Like you.
I mean, you could say that. You could say that.
SC supports open borders, just like Paul III supports with his Rosie O'Donnell haircut. Look at this.
Oh. I wonder if Paul III's listening to this right now.
He's on the call.
I know I see him, but he's messing with his guitar with his band,
Guy looks
and
like
he's
husband.
muted.
That is pretty cool. That, I mean, this is the wrestling show, but still, Paul III's in the studio. I think
Guy looks like a lesbian.
He's doing a Beatles tribute band. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
That sucks. Guy wouldn't know what the Beatles are if you fucking hit him with the upside pole.
Nah, but go ahead, Dr. Brown. Remember it was Jack Swagger that what's his name?
Yes, thank you very much. It was Jack Swagger, and he would I guess he probably got let go and later joined AEW as one of Chris Jericho's inner circle members.
He was trash, bro. He had that lip. He had that lip.
Yeah, but he was in Bellator, I think, Brown, for a couple deals, and he was good.
Nobody cares. That sucks.
Oh, really? So Bellator is a MMA company, by the way. For those who do not know.
I think he's a drunk guy, too. I'm not sure.
Never mind. I do take him seriously.
He's a big liberal like SC Steve. You know what I'm saying?
Liberal, like, you know? By the way, for the record, I never stole anyone's Ken's Treehouse joke. I don't even understand what that's in reference to. Besides the fact I know who Ken is by Luke Rojas.
No one said you stole that joke.
Nobody said. I don't know where he brought that up. I actually have the timestamp of him bringing that up. That sucks.
How about this one? The Grand Wizard?
Okay, I remember him.
Yes, he was played by Ernie Roth. He will wear that turban or whatever heck it's called, like a wizard's top that they put on their heads. We see it in the movies all the time. He would wear sunglasses whenever he was on camera or out in the ring with his clients. I guess he's no longer with us. Oh, we know this one. Harvey Whippleman. He was involved in the WWF under that name. His real name was Bruno Lauer, Lauer, and he was also known as Downtown Bruno as a referee for the USWA.
RY left the call. I think the stream went down. Hold on, let me just double check right now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the stream went down. Stream crashed. Something happened. I guess you're recording it though, so I guess we can.
Yes, I am. Yes.
This is why. Good job.
Oh, Hillbilly Jim. He was a manager for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he briefly managed. What's those guys' name? Their initials were Pig and Hog.
The swine? No, I'm kidding.
No.
The swine flu.
Ivan Koloff. He was a manager for a while. He managed his supposed nephew, Nikita Koloff, who's, by the way, never was Russian to begin with. He was American. Jack Crawford, James Dudley, J.C. Dykes, J.J. Dillon, who we mentioned,
What a world.
J.R. Foley. These are in alphabetical order, by the way.
Jennifer Ford.
John Tolos, Johnny Valiant. Luscious Johnny Valiant. Remember that name, Ark?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He later became Luscious Johnny B for a brief while before his departure from the WWF.
J.R. Ford III. Never forget about him.
Dr. Ken Ramey.
Whoa.
That was his name. That was his ring name.
Dr. Ken sucks.
Oh, Kenny Bolin. He's on the list of managers.
Yeah. He never managed in WWE, but he did manage in their sub time at the time, Ohio Valley, I think.
Well, OVW.
Yeah.
Ohio Valley Wrestling. And also the man we just mentioned, Kevin Sullivan.
Kevin Dunn.
Kim Chi, which was played by Steve Lombardi. He managed Kamala, Ugandan Giant. Lady Blossom. She was involved with World Class Championship Wrestling. Also with WCW as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Leo Newman, he was involved with National Wrestling Alliance and later WWA, World Wrestling Association. Now, this is something. Here's an interesting name. The Look, played by a lady named Winona Barkley. She was involved with Championship Wrestling from Florida. And of course, we cannot forget the great one, Captain Lou Albano, who managed, I guess, 16 championship tag team champions. He was a manager for 16 tag team champion teams. I think his last one was Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda.
Yes.
Oh, Luda Vachon.
Yeah.
She was involved with ECW and, of course, the WWF. She was a manager there.
ECW.
Oh, yeah, Mad Maxine, Continental Championship Wrestling. I wonder if, Ark, if you heard of this name, Jamie Kennedy.
No.
She was briefly, she managed a female wrestler named The Beast, who wrestled with the LPWA back in the later 80s.
It was Miss Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah. The late former Elizabeth Savage. They were married for many years until their divorce.
And then she hooked up with Lex Luger.
Yes, and then ultimately lost her life in some sort of the drug dealing thing that they did at a hotel room. And now Luger is not doing so well himself. He's wheelchair bound because of some spine condition that he's going through.
Oh, and there was another woman that was Savage's valet or manager.
Gorgeous George.
No.
The ones I remember was later on the WCW years was Gorgeous George, in honor of the male wrestler of the same name. And there was a Miss Madness who accompanied those two to the ring at times. And this was when Savage, got rid of the his old look cowboy hat and all that stuff, and got more street for real style there. And he was in a feud with Kevin Nash, Big Sexy. Oh, the woman we mentioned earlier, Medusa Maselli. She was involved with AWA and World Championship Wrestling, my bad. And of course, Mae Young. She was involved with the National Wrestling Alliance and the WWF. I guess her and Fabius Moolah had a beef a couple times. Screen wise, that is. It's kind of funny. We see Paul 3 playing his guitar, but of course he's muted for obvious.
He thinks we're live right now. That's funny.
Okay. Ma Bess. That's her name, Ma Bess. MAW. BASS. She was with whoever this person is. NWA. Mark Manson. He was also with the NWA. Oh, remember this one? Arc Miss Linda?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And she was involved, she would manage erotic Adrian Street, if I'm correct.
DJ Scotty MCmo here in the mix.
She was involved, Miss Sylvia. She was involved with Continental Wrestling and World Class Championship Wrestling out of Texas. Oh, Missy Hyde, who we mentioned earlier, she also was involved with ECW.
Oh shit!
UFW,
Texas.
WCCW, and of course World Championship Wrestling.
What the fuck? A meteorite just hit Houston, Texas, dude.
Lies. Mr. Fuji.
What?
He managed Don Morocco. Who cannot forget him coming out with the tuxedo, the derby hat, and the cane?
That was the guy I was thinking of a minute ago.
Exactly.
No. Or why? Please. Oh, he's not even. He can't even hear. Oh my god, no.
He's right now trying to set up his channel once again, or his live stream.
It's online. It's trending on X. A meteorite just hit Houston.
Prove it. Ole Anderson.
Oh my god.
He managed for a long while there,
Well,
for about a year to be exact, in of course WCW.
Oh no.
Oh, who cannot forget this guy? Oliver Humperdinck.
Yeah.
He was involved with the AWF, Florida Championship Wrestling, WCW, and of course the WWF. He was the opponent of Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Or why, dude? No.
I'm removing SC from the call once and for all. Well, stop it. Of course, we mentioned this man, Paul Bearer, whose real name was William Moody. Paul E. Dangerously, Paul Ettering, Paul Jones, number one Paul Jones. All right. Precious, Patty Williams was her real name. Oh, here's someone. Red Berry. That was the guy's ring name. And he was involved with the NWA and the Worldwide Wrestling Federation before Vince McMahon bought the company and made it to the WWF. Rip Tyler. Have you heard that name, Rip Tyler, by chance?
Yep.
I see. And here's a couple. I remember I think. Does anybody remember the name Ronnie P. Gossett?
No.
All right, I've never heard of it myself, let alone Sam Bass. Sapphire. She was the manager for Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
When he was involved with the WWF. When you wore that.
The polka dot outfit.
I know that. I could never understand that. I don't know. But then again, in a way, he was being punished for some sort of a thing that pissed off Vince McMahon at that time. Okay. This lady is no longer with us. Sherry Martel.
That was the one that managed Savage for a while.
Yes, that's her. Yes, I remember. Yes. Sensational Sherry Martel. I guess she's no longer with us. Skagnar Adbar, you mentioned him earlier.
Yeah, he was big in Texas at WCCW.
Oh, how about this guy? Slick.
Yeah,
He was like a pimp wannabe. He was involved. He briefly managed a couple wrestlers. I forgot which one, but he was brought in. He was like a heel. I guess
right.
I guess it was Freddie Blassie that first introduced him. Sonny King. He was involved with Southeastern Championship Wrestling. And of course, Stan Kowalski. He was involved with the AWA. Oh, how about this name? Stately Wayne Matter.
Sounds like a play on where Batman lives.
Exactly. Remember, but some of these wrestling names off and gimmicks often play on many other characters outside of wrestling. I mean, it's like no secret that Tony Montana, the main character in Scarface, was kind of like an inspiration for the Razor Ramon character. And it's obviously that the Goon was inspired by one of the bad boy hockey players. Like, I guess it was Bob Probert for the Detroit Red Wings, because he had a nasty reputation of being a troublemaker at times. Sunshine, we mentioned her.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, superstar Billy Graham. He was a manager at one point for the WWF. Theodore Long, Teddy Long. He worked with Jim Crockett Promotions and World Championship Wrestling. He also later joined the WWE as manager of SmackDown for a while. He would use the word player a lot of times with his people that he spoke to. Oh, yeah. Tojo Yakamoto. He was involved with WCCW, Tony Adams, Tony Angelo, Tony Rumble, Victor, what's his name here? Quinones.
That's Quinones, but
All right, thank you. All right. I guess, I'm not too sure if this man was a manager, but he was more like a valet or an accomplice to the billion-dollar man, Ted DiBiase. Virgil.
yeah.
Yes.
And
But
of
I know
course,
the
Jim
wife.
Cornette had Big Boss Man.
Yeah, the late Ray Trailer. Yep, and the one we just mentioned as well, Woman, played by the late Nancy Benoit, Zeke Rivers, and that's about it. Now, the modern one we know of today is around of course, around the 90s. We had Abraham Washington, AFA, Alexa Bliss, who we mentioned earlier in this program, Alicia Fox, Allie, played by Laura Dennis, who now is with AEW under the name The Bunny. Allison Danger. Let's see here. Angela Fong, Fong. Angelia Love, one half of the Beautiful People, alongside Velvet Sky. She was involved managing in OVW and Deep South Wrestling. Shimmer Women's Athletes. They had Annie Social. You get with the name what you're trying to go at. I think Becky Lynch did some managing under the name Rebecca Knox. She I guess she managed Soraya Knight along with her daughter, who later became Paige, and now Soraya, or Soraya, I should say, in AEW.
For a brief while, Ric Flair managed Charlotte Flair.
Oh, really? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He would come out, father and daughter, many times. They would come out. Arn Anderson. Yep, he's a big one. He was alongside the Ric Flair when Ric Flair was co-manager of the WWE at that time in the early 2000s. Oh, and this lady who's no longer with us, Ashley Marcero. It was World Wrestling Entertainment she was involved in. Oh, The Assassin. I don't think I've heard of that. I think I have heard of that name briefly. It was a WCW that this individual was active in. Oh, Asia. Asia. This is an interesting gal right here. She was a bodybuilder. She also was a wrestler. And she was meant to be WCW's answer to China. And she would later get involved with Dale Torborg when he was doing the demon gimmick, and their husband and wife to this very day. Austin Idol, who's involved with Billy Corgan's NWA. And of course, Belladonna, that's her name. Bill Alfonso. Bob Backlund, he was a manager himself in the WWF when it was still known that. Bobby Bass, or whatever it was. Brooke Tess Matcher. It's Matcher, but without the T in the middle. She was involved with Total Nonstop Action Wrestling and World Wrestling Entertainment. Well, of course, we mentioned this dude earlier on, Brother Love, played by executive Bruce Pritchard, Buggy Nova, Brian Saxon. He was involved with Florida Championship Wrestling.
Oh, there was another guy down there. What was his name?
Yes.
Oh, Fuller, I think.
Bobby Full. No, that's a musician. Where am I getting that from? Duh.
I think it was like Jim Fuller or something like that.
Trying
to remember, but there was a guy down there that was a manager, big time.
All right.
In the Florida thing.
All right. I'm sure the memory will come up soon. Definitely no doubt about that. All right, there. So, let's see. We got a few others down here. Of course, China. She was not really a manager, but she was like a valet to Triple H when he was still known as Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
The bodyguard, I think.
Absolutely, yep. And it fits to say that when she first debuted in the WWF, taking on Marlena and switching her around like some plush doll, nobody was really prepared for this woman to come out all beefed up, looking like a Terminator persona, silent but deadly. Clarence Mason, we got this guy here. He was involved with WCW and later the WWF. Coach Buzz Stern, once again with WCW. Colonel Robert Parker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, the Commandant. I remember this guy. He had the thing called the Truth Commission. There's supposed to be an army from South Africa. He was involved with the USWA and later with the WWF. Then for some reason, I don't know if he was let go or he left the company. The Commandant was later replaced with this dude known as the Jackal. Cynthia Lynch, Daphne, rest in peace to her. She was involved with WCW and later TNA Wrestling. Right. Dawn Marie. I guess she was was she involved with Tommy Dreamer in ECW? Or was that Francine? see here. I don't remember myself. Deborah Marshall. I guess she later became Deborah McMichael when she was involved with Steve Mongol McMichael.
Oh,
And
yeah.
later
And then later
became
Jeff Jarrett.
absolutely. And also, she became romantically involved with Stone Cold Steve Austin, as she was also a lieutenant commissioner in the WWF alongside the main commissioner, Mick Foley. Diana Hart, she was involved with the World Wrestling Federation. The Dirty White Girl, it's something there. She was involved with the USWA and Smoky Mountain. Disco Inferno, Glenn Gilberti, who often does the shows with Vince Russo on his russosbrand.com stuff. He was mostly known in the WCW and TNA. Don West, Electra, that's her name. Named after, I don't know if it's named after a record label, but it was an interesting name there. Oh, yeah. That person, she was involved with ECW just as well. Emma, she was from Elite Canadian Championship Wrestling, World Wrestling Entertainment, PWA Australia. Oh, yeah. Eric Bischoff. There you go. Detroit's own. He was involved with WCW, World Wrestling Entertainment. And believe it or not, I think he auditioned to be one of the announcers for the WWF. I don't know if something happened or what it was, but there are many speculating that something went down between him and Vince McMahon that probably pushed Bischoff to try and outdo the WWF when he became the head honcho of WCW. Right there. Eva Marie. Was she a good wrestler? Or
Not
let
really.
alone manager?
That was kind of the thing, was she was kind of not a good wrestler.
She was a bimbo. Only thing she had going on was her looks, her body, and the red hair at the time. Of course, she became part of the WWE once again, but this time with pink hair. I guess she introduced Dewdrop, who later became Piper Laurie. Gail Kim. She was involved with Total Nonstop Action. I guess that she's married to this person named Robert Irvine, I guess it was, who's a chef or what's this guy do? A chef, I guess?
Don't know.
Goldust's bodyguard? That's something. Goldilocks. That's the name there. And
yeah,
this,
and there was I forgot the name of the group off the top of my head, but Eric Young, they were big in NXT, and they kind of faltered in WWF when they came up. But Eric Young was their leader. I don't know if he was their manager or what.
Oh, you must mean Nexus.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, had Nikki Cross in the group and a couple others. But they came up. They were big in NXT, and when they came up, they didn't do a heck of a lot in WCW.
Ah, I see there. Well, the only thing I know about I don't know much about NXT other than Braun Breaker, which is the son of Scott Steiner. No, it's the son of Rick Steiner, I should say. And let's see here. The list goes on and on and on, blah, blah, blah. Heath Slater, he was a manager. Harley Race, we know he managed Big Van Vader when he was involved with WCW. Oh, the Honky Tonk Man?
Yeah.
Boyd Ferris? Yeah, I guess he briefly managed Billy Gunn. and he called him Rockabilly. He convinced it. I guess I also check this out. You may remember a tag team called Rhythm and Blues. It was a
Kind
honky
of,
tonk.
yeah.
It was a honky tonk man and a newly dark-haired, dyed Greg the Hammer Valentine, looking like impersonators of Elvis. Hornswoggle, okay, and of course the Iron Sheik. I didn't know he was a manager. He was mostly a wrestler. Ivory, I guess she was a manager as well for a brief time.
Yeah.
Jacqueline Moore, Jack Victory, the Jackal, Don Callis. Oh, really? I was surprised because we know Don Callis nowadays as the, I guess, the manager for Kenny Omega.
I guess, I don't know.
Yes, and that this kind of answers a question of where did Don Callis originate from? Because I heard he was a pro wrestler back in the day. And now just looking on this list of who he was at the WWF, it's like, wow, interesting there. No doubt about that. All right. He also was Cyrus the Virus in ECW. And of course, as I mentioned, the Jackal in the WWF. And he's using his real name in both Impact Wrestling and All Elite Wrestling. Jade Chung, who was involved in Ring of Honor, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Jaden. That person was involved with Force One Pro Wrestling. And of course, Jake Roberts.
Yeah.
Who was, by the way, is a son of Grizzly Smith, by the way. He's a manager in the All Elite Wrestling. James Mitchell, better known as, of course, the Sinister Minister. I guess he was involved in ECW, and now he's involved, I guess, a couple other promotions as well. I know he was part of the NWA, the current NWA, for a while. In fact, him and some Trilla Salvis, I guess the guy's name, they were cutting a promo, and they mentioned the castle, where I go to occasionally on the weekends. Jasmine St. Clair, she was involved with Propane Pro Wrestling and Extreme Championship Wrestling, the former porn star herself. Jason Knight, he was involved with ECW. And the list goes on. Let's see here. Jesse Bell Smothers from OVW. Jillian Hall. Of course, Jim Ross. He managed the fake Diesel for a while in the WWF.
Yeah.
And that must be Paul Three strumming his guitar with whichever singer they have in the back. Sounds good, I will say. Jonathan Coachman was a manager for a while. Johnny Ferrari. And of course, Johnny Polo, who later became Raven in WCW, ECW, and then later in TNA. His real name, Scott Levy. John Laurinaitis. Karen Jarrett. Kelly Kelly, the Cat, both involved with the World Wrestling Federation. All right. All right. I think that's the end of the list so far.
Okay.
Okay, then.
I guess we'll break off until next week.
Absolutely. And we're going to be looking at Hotel California next Wednesday for Shizzle. And for Ark and everybody else and myself, We'll see you all later on. Bye-bye.
Woo!
Bye.
That
Bye-bye.
sounds really good. That sounds related. Yeah. There's nothing better than like family holidays. You know, BGs have the best parties. They're all brothers. You know, you guys have something pretty.